What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel again. Here it's me, your boy, the Retro Slasher, and welcome back to a brand new DVD and Blu-ray update video for the month of October 2016. Yeah, so it was the month of October, Halloween time, spooky time, everything. Be quite honest with you guys, there wasn't a whole lot of new releases and things that came out this month that I actually wanted to grab. Not too many day one purchases for me. A few things here and there that I might grab down the line when prices are a little bit cheaper or whatnot, or find a good sale on it. But since I already did like a sort of an update video this month, I decided just to do a short little one of the rest of the stuff that I picked up for the month. If you haven't checked out that last video, it's from my Rock and Shock pickups. 2016 edition. I picked up a lot of cool obscure 80s slashers, some posters, and whatnot, some cool stuff in that one. So if you haven't checked it out, head on back in the archives, check it out. But we're here to talk about today's update video. Got like 9 things to show off, about 6 DVDs and 3 Blu-rays. Nothing really in particular special. Pretty short and sweet update, man. That's how I like it, I suppose. You guys are used to these large, huge, big videos. But this one's going to be short and sweet. Get right to the point. Enough rambling on. Let's get into the actual update. So the first film I picked up was a film that's always kind of intrigued me, just based on the premise and whatnot. And then watching the trailer for it, kind of caught my attention a little bit more. Honestly, I have no idea if it's good or not. I'd never seen it before. Not a film I actually heard anybody ever talk about, but it goes by the title Ancient Evil, Scream of the Mummy. Yeah, so I'm kind of like a sucker for mummy films, even though I don't own a whole lot. I kind of really do enjoy mummy films. They're usually pretty entertaining. This one kind of sounds more a little bit slashery. Not 100% sure if that's true. At least the trailer and the synopsis kind of led me to believe that. I have no idea if it's good or not. Haven't had a chance to check this out. Uh, but I plan on checking them out soon, I suppose. So with that one, of course, I had to pick up the sequel. And this one is called Ancient Evil 2, Guardian of the Underworld. Yeah, yet again, I don't know much about this one. This one seems to have a little bit of a different plot. Kind of. This one might actually be set more different times. Yet again, I don't know anything about it. Haven't had a chance to watch them yet. But let me know in the comments down below if you guys have seen these and whether or not they're really worth checking out right away or something I can put off for a long, long time. I don't know. I'll get around to them eventually. But let me know if you guys had seen them. Next thing I picked up here is a film that's always caught my eye too. Another one that I actually had heard pretty good reviews about and things. People seem to be a big fan of this film. Uh, it was just the right time to pick it up. I found it for a good price. This thing's not really rare or hard to find. Just sometimes a DVD can be a little bit pricey on this one. But I found it for $2, so I had to pick it up for that price. And that is the Pumpkin Carver. I gave this a watch about a week or so ago. It's a Halloween themed slasher film. Really, really fun film. Actually, it surprised me actually how good it was. I really enjoyed the killer. This one and like the story behind him killing and whatnot. It's pretty cool. Nothing really special about it. No like in particularly great kills or anything mind blowing. But it's just a pretty fun standard slasher film with a pretty cool killer set on Halloween. Always a plus, man. Really, really had a fun time watching this one. Might become a staple in my Halloween October viewing pattern. Really good film. Really dug that one. Next one I picked up here is a 2016 slasher film. Yeah, not too many of those came out this year, but this one is set on Christmas. So you put a slasher film with Christmas, you automatically got my attention. And plus, this one has a pretty cool name. Not really original name, just a run on a Christmas saying from a song, and it's called All Through the House. There's a huge glare. Sorry about that. Yeah, so I was really, really stoked to check this one out. Ever since I got announced, I saw it on Amazon for pre-order for the Blu-ray. FilmRise put this out. If you guys are not familiar with them, they're kind of like a releasing company that releases a lot of burn-on-demand titles. These all have DVR and BDRs releases. The Blu-ray was just way out of my price range or likings. It was like $24 for a burn-on-demand Blu-ray. No way I was gonna pay that. So I elected to go with the $10 cheaper version on DVD. Paid like $13 for it. Maybe I still paid a little too much because, to be quite honest with you guys, I really didn't care for this film all that much. I mean, it has a lot of cool parts to it, and like the killer is pretty cool yet again, and the kills aren't the greatest. There's a lot of silliness and over the top in this film, a little too comedic for my liking. If you've seen this film, you probably know what I'm talking about. Don't get me wrong, I like my comedy slashers and whatnot, or my over the top ones, but I'm just a really big fan of Christmas themed slashers, so I'm really trying to like build up that part of my collection as of late, and this one is just not a favorite of mine. Now, I must take into consideration that I did watch this in the middle of Halloween season, like right in the middle of October. So it wasn't like maybe the best time to watch a film like this. So I do want to plan on revisiting this sometime in the near future during the holiday seasons and see if my opinion will change on it. It just doesn't have like a great Christmas feel to it, to be honest with you, too. It's kind of not really snowy or anything like that. It has beautiful Christmas lighting to it and whatnot, decorations and whatnot. But it just doesn't. It just feels like it's missing that Christmas spirit. That's another problem I have with it. But it's a decent film. It's just not as good as I wanted it to be. But I'm gonna give it a rewatch and see maybe if my opinion will change on that one. All right, next thing I picked up here, I popped another cherry on my cherry tree popping tree. If that makes any sense. Yeah, so I picked up my first Massacre video release. This film, when it got announced, somebody showed it to me. It might have been Derek. He might have posted it in the group chat or something. And it immediately caught my eye because I was like, wow, that's a pretty cool looking film. The premise is even cooler sounding. It's a really obscure kind of film. And it goes by the name of City in Panic, also known as the AIDS Murders. There is reversible cover art for this, which is always a plus. I love when companies do that, have alternate artwork and alternate names. Yeah, for the actual film itself, I did give this one a watch. To be quite honest with you guys, I was not a huge fan of this one. It just seemed to drag on forever. It seemed really off-paced and kind of boring, to be completely honest with you. Going into this, I thought it was kind of more of a slasher film. It's a slasher to an extent, and it's also like a giallo, which is nothing wrong with that. It's just kind of one of those ones that's in between the middle. It has a little bit of both elements to it, but the only real good positive thing to say about this music is the awesome 80s score to it. There's a pretty cool cheesy 80s synth score to it. But other than that, nothing really did it for me for this film. It just was quite boring, to be quite honest. It has a few decent kills and whatnot, but it was just pretty lackluster. A lot of dialogue and stuff that could have made this movie a little bit better. It just felt really long to me. It seemed to drag on in some parts. Yeah, so who knows if I'll pick up another Massacre video. I shouldn't let one film deter me from buying another one, but who knows? I don't know. If that's the stuff they're going to release. They release like a really lot of weird, obscure films that are really obscure. I mean, super obscure. That's a pretty obscure movie. Cool premise though on that one, I should say. The whole killing people of AIDS. It's not really a spoiler. It's in the title, but it does kind of play a point into the plot twist in it. It's kind of weird. I don't know. Not my favorite film that I've seen though. Next thing I picked up here is 2015 slasher film. One that when I saw it last year, I couldn't stop raving about. It was so good, man. It took forever to get a U.S. release, and of course, the U.S. release is of course a film rise, the Blu-ray, which is extremely overpriced, which is like it's like $26 for that burn on demand Blu-ray, and I was not paying that. So one day I'm just browsing on Amazon UK whatnot, and see this film's on sale. It's only like £2. I'm not sure what the actual dollar amount that is in Americans money, but altogether the total came to like $6 with shipping. So I was like, I can't pass that up. And it goes by the title of Girl House. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of this cover art, to be quite honest. It's pretty bland and boring. So isn't the film Rise, but that one's just a little better for some reason. But I don't know. But this film itself, really fantastic slasher film, coming off from a year of slashers that were really, really top notch in my opinion of 2015. This was my favorite one. One of them of 2015. It was like my third favorite horror film of last year. Just a really, really cool premise to it. This like it's an independent slasher film to an extent, but it doesn't feel like independent at all. Like just like the house alone that is set in with all this amazing technology and whatnot. Really, really well done. But the premise of it is basically these cam girls are in this house, and there's this obsessed guy called Loverboy. He's obsessed with this one in particular girl, so he decides to find out where the secret location of this cam house is. He breaks in there and starts picking them off one by one. Once he realizes they might be making fun of him and whatnot, it kind of snaps and loses it. He's already kind of crazy, but he goes over the top when he finds out his crush is not really digging him as much as he thought. Yeah, but really, really fantastic. A lot of cool kills in this, really cool effects and whatnot. A really stellar ending, in my opinion. One of the coolest endings in the slasher film I've seen for a while. Just really, really well done, man. I can't stop praising this movie enough. If you haven't checked out Girl House, man, I highly, highly recommend it. It's a really, really good modern slasher film. And that does it for the DVDs. Let's move on to the Blu-rays. Not many of them, only 3. So yeah, first thing I picked up here. These next 2 actually were films that were released last month, but they were on back order and kind of technically went out of print for a little bit. That I don't think they were expecting these things to sell as well as they did, and they sold like hotcakes. Especially 2 in particular, ones of them. Um, yeah, if you don't know what I'm talking about by now, it's the Stephen King Blu-rays. The first one here is the Cat's Eye Blu-ray, a pretty cool anthology film. Of course, starring Drew Barrymore and a bunch of other notable actors. It's been a long time since I've seen this film, probably not since the 90s. Um, haven't had a chance to revisit the Blu-ray yet, so I don't know how the transfer is or whatnot. But I always remember liking one in particular segment in this film, like the smoking ones. It's just a really, really fucked up story if you really think about what's going on and some of the dialogue that things are being said in that one. But then there's one, the one kind of weak one. I enjoyed it when I was younger, but it doesn't seem like it. I've heard it doesn't hold up as well. I can't say because I haven't seen it in a long time. But people, recent listenings about people talk about this film, and it says the in particular one starring Drew Barrymore doesn't really hold up as well. It seems pretty cheesy. The other one is about the man on the ledge. I totally blanked on what it was. I yeah, I have to give this a watch soon though. It's been a long time. I'm curious to see how the transfer is, but I always remember liking this film. Cat's Eye's pretty good stuff. Next one up here, one I did have a chance to finally watch. It's a pretty essential film to own in your collection, especially if you like horror films, and that is Salem's Lot here on Blu-ray. Yeah, this one was the one that sold like hotcakes. I know a lot of people were picking this up. I can't blame them. It's a really fantastic film from the late 70s. Just a really cool take on the vampire genre and whatnot. Of course, Stephen King story. Yeah, it's a really good film, and can't not say enough good things about Salem's Lot. If you haven't seen Salem's Lot, I don't know why you're watching my video. It's a fantastic movie. And last thing I picked up here is a movie that for the longest time I couldn't think of the title of it, and when recently I found out what it was, and then I saw I had a DVD release. But I said that movie needs a Blu-ray release. It's a movie that I used to watch when I was a young lad, young retro slasher. I used to watch it with my grandfather all the time on one of those classic movie channels. Um, it just I always remember loving this movie when I was a kid, and when I saw that it got a Blu-ray release, Zach found out it did. He found it. I think he said he found it at Walmart, but it said it was a Best Buy exclusive, so maybe not. It wasn't, but I don't know. I got my copy at Best Buy. It was only $8. I couldn't pass that up, and that is The Ghost and Mr. Chicken. Yeah, really, really funny movie starting to dine onto, and it's not really a horror movie per se. It has a little bit of supernatural ghost elements to it, but to an extent. But it's a really, really fun movie. This movie always just cracks me up. Now, the funny thing about this movie is I always remembered it being in black and white. I could have sworn this was a black and white movie. I'm not sure if they added color to it for the Blu-ray or whatnot. Maybe it was always in color, but I swore this movie was in black and white when I was younger, but I don't know. Maybe they changed something. I don't even know if that's necessarily possible. But yeah, give this a watch. Great transfer on it. If you have never seen this movie or you've seen it and you want to pick it up, I highly recommend you pick it up. It's a good release. Dirt cheap too. $8 for this, man. Head on to your local Best Buy and pick it up, man. It's a good film. I'm sure you guys will enjoy it. And yeah, that does it. I told you, short and sweet. Yeah, not many things I picked up. Like I said, not sure what November's looking like. I know there's at least two things coming out for sure that I'm grabbing. Um, but I really don't know what else. Maybe just gonna focus on grabbing some more of those Christmas themed slasher films since the holidays are upon us. Yeah, I don't know. But that does it for this update video, guys. I will check you out in November, no matter how long or how big the update is. I will make one for November, I promise. Yeah, until then, I'll see you guys with another update video. Until then, Retro Slasher signing off. Peace out, peeps.